Yeah, you can get your pilot's license at 17, and the summer is plenty.
I don't have time for that. Some of us have to work for a living, you know?
Not you, no. Seriously, they work around your schedule.
Really? That's cool. Where are you going?
Ocala Aviation at the airport off 60th.
How'd you hear about it?
I heard about it on the radio, then I stopped in. I've got a card if you want the number.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get my phone.
Hurry up, the burgers are burning.
Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead.
861-7484.
Hold on, I missed a number.
Ah, such a slacker. Here it is again. 861-7484.
Excellent. I'm going to call them now.
How about we eat before you start your new adventure?
That's probably a good idea.
You think?
Here is your 1-minute news brief. A 50-year-old Ocala man accused of plotting to bomb Target stores along the East Coast to tank the company's stock last year has been convicted by a federal jury. Authorities say a woman died while scalloping in the Gulf of Mexico off the Florida coast in the waters off Citrus County. Authorities say a Hernando County deputy crashed his patrol car into a canal while swerving to miss a deer. No injuries were reported. U.S. Senator Bill Nelson is asking for a federal investigation into the company that manages the SunPass toll system in Florida. Hundreds of passengers on a Norwegian Airlines flight were forced to get off the plane after boarding at Orlando International Airport when a passenger made a comment about a bomb because he was unhappy with his seat. And Universal Orlando has released a first-look image for the Stranger Things haunted house set for the 2018 edition of Halloween Horror Nights. The artwork was created by Kyle Lambert, the official illustrator of the Netflix series. And that is your news brief from The Source.
Insurance needs got you worried? Clifford Insurance has you covered with over 25 premium carriers. Family owned and operated with 200 years plus of combined experience. Call them today, 352-245-5455. Clifford Insurance has the expertise you and your family deserves.
Give me, Alicia Clifford, a call today for a free quote at 352-245-5455.
Repticon presents Rep Today, the one-day reptile event in Gainesville, August 11th. It'll be at the Wyndham Garden at 2900 Southwest 13th Street. Call 863-268-4273 or go to Repticon.com for more information and to buy tickets. This may not be Jurassic Park, but you will be able to have live animal encounters and see thousands of reptiles and other exotic animals. August 11th, Wyndham Garden, Gainesville, because kids of all ages love reptiles. Rep Today.
All right, 74 degrees, 5 minutes after 8 o'clock. Galen Unold is on the phone, and we're going to talk to him. Good morning, Galen.
Yeah. Hey, good morning, Larry, Robin. How are y'all?
Good. I when I went to the computer, I saw on the computer a promo, a typed up promo. I guess Dan or Joe must have recorded a promo for the football season that's coming up that you're going to do.
Well, good. Well, hopefully you like it. I wrote it, so.
Oh, you wrote it? I haven't heard it, but I saw it on the screen. So
when is the first game?
Okay. Gosh, August. Not too long from now, like 3 weeks.
August 24th is a Friday because they start school on the 13th. So.
Yeah, I think it's the 24th. Yeah, yeah. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be a good time. We've got the couple of guys from Legacy Team Sports who are going to be in the booth with me, and. I think it'll be fun. I really do.
Anything new this year that you're doing different?
The team?
We're following Vanguard High School, which will be different, obviously. But I hope to bring the same entertainment value to the broadcast, and I hope that people enjoy it. And I really hope that Vanguard can make a deep run this year. I think they have a chance of going to the state championship game. They have all the tools they need. It's just a matter of whether or not they have the discipline to pull it off.
Yeah, well, it's always neat being the silent partner in that broadcast. Sitting in here in the studio, it's always neat to see the young people. Mostly, some of them are older, but they'll sit sometimes on the curb outside the window and they'll just listen to you. They'll listen to the game and you can tell that they're rooting for one or the other. It's always fun to watch that.
Oh, that's cool. And that's the one thing about doing a broadcast. You can't see your audience, right? And so, it takes weeks sometimes before you know if people liked it or if they hated it. It's really difficult, and when you do regular radio like this show, you can get an instantaneous feedback because a phone can ring.
Mm-hmm. Right,
or,
right.
where you guys are at, you could see people's reaction as they're walking by, but when you're doing play-by-play, Heck, there were some times I didn't even know if we were on the air.
I was with you one of those times.
Yeah, and I'm like, and I was listening to it this weekend it's my way of kind of getting ready for the season is listening to my broadcast, reminding myself of my own notes about what I need to improve on. Like we come back from a break and it's Larry, are you there? Larry. But to me, and I know this is because I'm a small town guy, but that's part of the small town radio, small town feel.
Right.
I mean, I've done big broadcasts where you had a studio producer, you had a booth producer, you had a director back in the studio, and there it's the cliff, the edge is much taller. I mean, when you fail there, the whole world knows you fail. Whereas on radio, for radio, who cares? And so it's different, but I love it. I really do.
Yeah, so. I love it too. I love the fact that you do it. I think it's one of the best things we can do to give back to the community. And really, there's nobody that's part of the permanent staff here that has those skills. You are it. We don't have anybody who could do it.
No, you are it.
As I told Dan when I tried to convince him we were going to do this again, I said, look, I'm cheap. I cost you nothing.
That's right.
I cost you $0. But I love it. And, when it's sad, there was a time when there would be 4 or 5 stations in town that were doing high school football. And now we're down to 1. And then the other one is more of an internet. And then there's another one that's more of an internet show. Mm-hmm. And that's occasionally on in local and one of the teams that we support here locally. And I'm just glad that WOCA has kept that going and that you guys give me the leash to do it.
We're all about community.
And I'd like to add that in addition to the old-fashioned radio broadcast, we do have the internet also. So it does happen in both places. So yeah.
Yeah, and I get some of the feedback I get are people who are out of town or things like that follow it, and I think this year, we started really late last year. Dan, I finally committed to Dan that I would do it the end of August, and so we didn't have a whole lot of time to prepare and plan and spread the word. But this year, I'm much further ahead of the game as far as spreading the word and who we're covering and I think we'll get a little bit more traction. So that's my hope.
Yeah, we should start marketing it now. Yeah, we should start advertising it now.
They are.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and that's why I wrote the promo because, I knew it wouldn't get cut unless I voted. So.
Yeah.
Well, let me see if it's in there. Maybe I just didn't know. Maybe it's maybe it is
we should
in there.
put it on Facebook
I don't know.
too. We should put it on Facebook.
Sure.
I'll take what words you say and
I'll find it.
Transcribe it, put it on Facebook in writing.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea. Yeah. We do have a 20 after today. So where are you?
That's fine.
Where are you today?
Where am I? Today I am going to Gainesville.
Okay.
So
okay.
Not as long as of a trip today.
So I had a topic, but I'm going to switch topics. I went to the LifeSouth website. And I never knew you had this thing here. So there's a little click on thing, and it'll tell you what you can know about your blood type. So I clicked on B positive, which is mine, and it says the best donation for your type is platelets. I never knew that. And it says only 8.5% of Americans have your blood type. You can help your fellow B positive donors and those with AB positive blood. So I never knew that.
Yeah. It you say that it changes depending on our inventory levels. At least it's supposed to. I'm not sure if that's fully functioning the way it's supposed to yet. That was one of the things I needed to check today.
Oh, okay.
But B pos is we use your red cells as well as your platelets pretty frequently. So, and I tell everybody, I'm like, if you're willing to be a platelet donor, be a platelet donor. We need everybody's platelets. And if you're an RH negative and you want to be a platelet donor, just make sure you give a red cell, because if you're an O neg, a B neg, or an A neg, we need your red cells all the time. So, and again, no matter who you are, no matter what your blood type is, you can help somebody. And so just give blood, just donate it. We don't have enough of it. I had to do a presentation last night in Valdosta to this county planning commission. And, you know, I'm always fascinated by people who have no idea what we do and what we're all about. And their biggest question is, well, are you paying people to do this? Because, you know, we're worried about the people who are coming into your building. I said, no, that's, you know, it's against the law for us to do that. That's a plasma center, and that's not who we are. So it's kind of fascinating.
Wow. So the other thing I want to tell you is, you know, we have dog houses here at the station now outside they're not ours, but they're at the mall.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No.
Air conditioned.
When did that happen?
Yesterday. It was great.
Air conditioned dog houses so that you can put your dog in there. It'll lock up. You have an app so you can keep an eye on the dog with the camera and go shopping. And it costs 30 cents a minute.
How much does this thing cost?
30 cents a minute.
30 cents a minute.
Yeah.
Has anybody used it yet?
No, we're waiting. Unless they used it yesterday after we left. I don't know.
I want you to interview that person. I want to know what their mindset is to thinking, all right, I've got to go to the mall, because that's not a stop in. You don't just say, hey, I'm going to stop by the mall on the way to X.
Right.
It's usually you're going, and then like, okay, why did you bring your dog?
I see a lot of dogs going into the mall, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not service dogs.
Like help dogs? They're not service dogs?
Well,
they're not service dogs.
I guess you could. I think there's a blurred line in these times, because an emotional support dog doesn't have to be licensed or anything. You can just claim your dog as an emotional support dog.
Yeah, and they bring them in here. It's like Publix.
Well, I have one of those. That's how I got into my new house. I mean, but do you think the dog wants to go to the mall?
Well,
probably not.
Yeah,
the dog wants to be with you.
I think he wants to be with you, and he loves the activity.
Right.
But I mean, I would never bring my dog to the mall. That's why I would be fascinated. Now, it's one thing if it's a service dog, and when you see a service dog, they're accustomed to those kinds of environments. They're not going to lift their leg and pee on a pillar. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Well, this is air conditioned. It's got a camera in there, and
it's sanitized.
My dog would lose his mind.
Oh, mine would have too.
In the food court.
Mine would have
in the food court.
It's outside.
The poor guy who gave the samples, he would lose his mind.
Just outside our door. That's where it is. Right outside our door.
WOCA.
Again, I want you to interview the person who comes in and says, "Hey, Galen Unold wants to know what your mindset is. Your dog." I'm not judging. I want to make that clear. I'm not judging. I am genuinely curious.
Yeah.
As to why
that's
you
what
brought
you
your
say.
dog to the mall.
But listen how it sounds. What are you thinking? Say it. Just
No. My question would be,
what is your mindset? Yeah.
What is your mindset?
Same words, different tone of voice.
Yeah.
What are you What are you thinking?
Tone is everything. Tone is everything.
No, there's no way to say those words without it sounding judgmental.
Mm-mm.
What are you?
Sure, there are.
Go ahead. What are you thinking?
All right. So, Larry, you brought your dog today that you don't have,
right? And
I'm just wondering, why did you bring your dog to the mall? And what are you thinking?
What are you thinking?
Right. Exactly.
You know? Yeah, I guess you're right. Be judgmental.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, all right, let's go back. Somebody thought this is a business plan.
It is.
And somebody pitched this to an investor.
Yes.
And said, you know what? We're going to put these places up, and so that way you can say no dogs allowed, and we're going to charge 30 cents a minute.
That's
and
right.
The mall's getting a piece of that.
This is very effective. By the way, successful, I should say, in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn's a hipster town. I mean, they're a bunch of yuppies.
When did that happen? I guess you're right.
That's what it's become,
and that's
right?
why people and that's why people will use it, because they'll say, "Oh, this is the hip thing to do. You put your dog out there."
They nominated a socialist millennial who's a bartender who's going to be their representative in Congress. This isn't the blue collar town of the 50s of what Brooklyn used to be. Who escaped socialism.
That's right. I hear that, Dougie.
Sorry, I'm distracted.
It's such an annoying sound.
Sorry,
that's your dog.
I'm just distracted. Yeah. Okay. All right, they're all waiting to get in here, Galen. So there's a line out there now, just waiting.
It's not even open yet.
They're saying, "What are you thinking?" Is what they're saying. No, there's
walkers.
No, the walkers
come in, so they'll put their dog in the cage and off they go.
You guys need thicker glass.
All right, Galen. Hey, be careful today.
I'll try.
Where's the bloodmobile? Where's the bloodmobile?
Hey, that's hilarious. I can't even think of that noise. Hey, what is today? Today we're at the YMCA, so we're out there.
Nice.
Yes, it's like donate blood. Wow, what an annoying sound.
All right. Thank you, Palm Garden of Ocala and Penn Flooring, for sponsoring this announcement each weekday. And we'll play their commercials now. And everybody, take a tour of Palm Garden. You'll see why we recommend them. And go to Penn Flooring and see their showroom. Hey, be careful out there. Thank you for what you do, Galen.
All right, you guys are the best. Bye, y'all.
We'll be right back.
Insurance needs got you worried? Clifford Insurance has you covered with over 25 premium carriers. Family owned and operated with 200 years plus of combined experience. Call them today, 352-245-5455. Clifford Insurance has the expertise you and your family deserves.
Give me, Alicia Clifford, a call today for a free quote at 352-245-5455.
In the good old summertime, it takes you back, doesn't it? Makes you think and remember. What did you do in the summertime when you were a kid? At Palm Garden of Ocala, we see folks who are young at heart, but their bodies are giving them a tough time. Our goal for every guest we serve is to bring them to their highest level of independence. Come visit us soon. We're located on the corner of Southwest 27th Avenue and 34th Street.